The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Well, welcome to Jwcc Community College. On behalf of the college and the Board of Trustees, I want to thank everyone for being here to celebrate the state's investment in higher education. Most importantly, this monumental investment in our students. A special welcome to Governor Pritzker, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, the Governor's Office staff, Senator Jwcc, Quincy Mayor Troop, Kyle Moore from the Greater River Economic Development Foundation, a member of Professor H.K.'s summer speech class are here as well, students in the back. It's always good to see them. Okay. Our faculty and staff that are here today, and special thanks to the community college leadership team who do what they do every day. Our focus is on student success, which first means students have access to high quality education and workforce training near their homes at an affordable price. The state's budget invests in community colleges allow accessible, affordable, and high quality instruction. Illinois community colleges serve over 500,000 students each year and is the third largest system in the nation. This year's investment in our community college ensures we put students first. Investing in community colleges helps students from all walks of life access the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree and ensures they progress with little to no debt. Many of our students transfer to regional universities. Our top transfer schools and proud partners include Quincy University, Western Illinois University, and Southern Illinois University in Edwardsville. Most students return to our community after completing their bachelor's degree and become the next generation of small business owners, community leaders, and employees in crucial workforce sectors. Additionally, we pride ourselves in providing advanced skills training and education that allows students to enter directly into the workforce. We're honored to train our region's best and brightest for companies like Knapheide, Titan Wheel, Dot Foods, Blessing Health Systems, Quincy Medical Group, and many more. Just a few weeks ago in this very spot, we celebrated 250 students who earned applied science degrees and certificates that went to work in our local community immediately, supporting the region's local economy. The state's increase in MAP funding is the most efficient way to help students access their education, and we applaud our state legislators and Governor Pritzker for making this investment in our students' futures. MAP funds go directly to students who qualify and help nearly 600 of our 1,700 students last year. These students come to us to pursue their hopes and dreams, looking for a better way of life. MAP funding provides an opportunity they may not have otherwise. In addition to the increase in MAP funding, increasing operational support to community college means investing in our local state's most precious resource, the people. This massive investment in community colleges made by the state allows us here at Jwcc Community College to hold the cost of tuition low. Thanks to these efforts, at the recommendation of the college leadership team, our Board of Trustees supports a $0 increase in tuition and fees for the coming academic year. Thank you. Because of these investments in higher education and MAP funding, our governor and state legislators, we are here today. I would like to now welcome our Governor, Pritzker, to the podium.
Well, thank you so much to President Renfro for that very kind introduction and for hosting us today. Great to see everybody here. I'm really grateful to be joined by Mayor Troop. Thank you for your partnership and leadership. We have so much that we're doing together to build up infrastructure here in Quincy and the surrounding area. Senator Jwcc, who I get to work with in Springfield, and Great River Economic Foundation President Kyle Moore, who I also got to work with when he was mayor to get things done for people here in Quincy. Together, we're here to announce new investments and new support for the students of Quincy. We're also joined today by Sam Hilbing and Nicole Cooley. Both are students here at Jwcc College, and I'm really excited that they'll be addressing us shortly from the podium. 10 days ago, lawmakers came together to pass our 5th balanced budget in a row. With it, we're making, frankly, it's become possible as a result of the work that we did for nearly every student from a low, moderate, or middle income family to get a degree or a certification from John Wood College. That means tuition free and fee free. And the same goes for people all across the state of Illinois. We have, as you may know, the best community college system in the country, the third largest in the country with 48 community colleges. With the state providing a record $750 million in college scholarships next year, a student can now pair a state scholarship with a federal Pell Grant and go to school with no out-of-pocket costs and no student loans. In addition, our new state budget officially grows direct support for higher education institutions by $100 million, the largest in more than 20 years. Illinois has the third largest community college system I mentioned, but we're opening doors as a result of the improvement at our community colleges, opening doors to higher wages and new careers and better jobs in healthcare and IT and agriculture, construction management, accounting, manufacturing, and other 21st century career paths. And everyone ought to be able to get the skills they need to get a good paying job or get a better paying job without being strapped for debt for the rest of your life. That's why our FY24 budget gets the job done for those who may never have had these opportunities available to them. As we make college more affordable, we are also investing in modernizing our classrooms and infrastructure on college campuses. Our local economies are dependent upon the talent and support that comes from our community colleges. That's why our Rebuild Illinois Capital Plan dedicates nearly $500 million to community college infrastructure across the state, including most recently here at John Wood, where state and local funds are coming together, for example, to repave and renew the main campus parking lot, making commuting to campus easier and safer than ever before. Illinois community colleges serve as an accelerator for local economies and individual students alike. From a direct economic impact of about $3.5 billion annually to producing degrees that offer big boosts in annual household income, community college is one of the best assets that we have when it comes to ensuring great opportunity and great outcomes for all of our working families. And it's an investment that I'm very, very proud to make along with our partners in the General Assembly. So thank you to all of you for being here today. With that, I'm pleased to introduce my partner in governance and a champion for our community college students, and that's our Lieutenant Governor, Juliana Stratton. Juliana?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's so great to be back here in Quincy. Thank you, Governor Pritzker, for that warm introduction and for your commitment to ensuring every Illinoisan has access to a quality education. The governor has already acknowledged all of our elected officials and special guests, so in the interest of time, I just want to thank you all for standing with us and doing the hard work to ensure the next generation have the pathways to a bright future. I do want to join the governor in thanking President Renfro and all the passionate, dedicated educators and leadership at John Wood Community College. I liked what you said, President Renfro, about accessible, affordable, and high-quality education, because that's exactly why we're here. You know, I've seen firsthand the incredible impact you make on students' lives every day. You see, my mother was an educator at a community college, and she saw the full potential in the students she served, and she gave them the care and attention that they needed. She was there to lift them up and help them gain the skills that would help them to thrive. Illinois is proud to stand with our community colleges because we know that you open the doors for so many to soar. In the same way higher education opens doors for people to achieve their dreams, it's up to us as policymakers to expand pathways, provide support, and create opportunities for students to reach their full potential. That's why this fifth balanced budget. And by the way, as a former legislator in the past administration, where we went almost 2 years without a budget, I love saying with this 5th balanced budget, it invests in scholarships for teachers from underrepresented backgrounds so students can be taught by people who look like them and understand their perspectives. And it's why we made history with the largest increase of funding in higher education in 20 years. And it's why we're building on our commitment to affordable education so more students than ever in our community colleges and public universities can have their tuition and fees covered by MAP and Pell Grants. Now, to show just how vital this funding for MAP grants is, it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Sam Hilbing, a student here, or recent graduate, is that right? That is right. That is right. So we're going to congratulate him with a big round of applause because he recently graduated. But Sam was a MAP grant recipient, and he's someone who's taking the initiative to make his mark on the future of Illinois. Sam, I'm excited to hear your perspective, so I'm going to pass it over to our recent graduate.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming out today. It's really special. Like she said, my name is Sam Hilbing. I'm a recent graduate here. I was studying business for 2 years here at John Wood. I enjoyed every bit of it. I was also involved with under Coach Hoyt on the basketball program here. I loved it. I love the community here. I love what the school brings. I love the community college atmosphere. While studying business here at John Wood, I made a lot of close friends and just countless memories and awesome times. Awesome people here at John Wood and a great staff. So a little bit about myself. I've lived in Quincy my whole entire life, born and raised here just like a lot of fellow students here. And that's a common thing that we see, but we also have some out of state, out of the country students here as well, plenty. And coming out of high school, or towards the end of high school, I was in a financial situation where I wasn't sure what the best route was going to be. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, where I was going to land after high school. I came in, talked to the people at John Wood, talked to the staff here, talked to Coach Hoyt, and that really helped me. I wanted to continue to play. And I came across that it was very possible, and that is thanks to the MAP grants from the state of Illinois. And I'll forever be grateful for that. And it really just, not only did it give me a comfort or a relief of what is so hard for most college students, the payment and how much it's going to cost, it allowed me to focus on my academics and athletics as well, while all of that is enough on a college student's plate as it is. So a huge thank you to the state and to the staff here at John Wood. I'll always be appreciative of it, and it's really landed me where I am now, and that's continuing on to the University of Missouri, and I'll be there next fall, and I'll be continuing to study business. So with that being said, thank you to you all, and I'll be now introducing our John Wood Community College Student Government Vice President, Nicole Cooley.
Hello everyone, as Sam just introduced, my name is Nicole Cooley. I chose to come to John Wood because I am an undecided major and knew by going to John Wood I could stay close to my family in Pittsfield and save money while I got my gen ed classes out of the way. I have tried really hard to be active on campus this year through being a John Wood cheerleader, doing work study at the front desk, and being in John Wood Student Government Association, including becoming their new vice president for the 2023-24 school year. If it was not for the MAP grant, I would not be where I am today. The financial aid I receive has given me the opportunity to go to college debt-free. It takes a lot of weight off of my shoulders to not have to worry about the cost of school on top of the cost of everyday life expenses. My parents started their own business that did not work out because of COVID, and my mom has had a lot of health setbacks that have left her unable to work currently. So the MAP grant has taken a huge burden off of my family's shoulders because otherwise we would not have been able to afford for me to go to college. It is also very beneficial for other students that are in a similar situation with personal stories and experiences that leave them unable to afford the expenses of a college education. For all of these reasons, I sincerely appreciate the state's investment in me and my future. Now I will introduce Kyle Moore, the president of the Great River Economic Development Foundation.
Thank you. You know what Nicole failed to mention is that she is currently enrolled in a speech class. And if that doesn't get her an A, I don't know what will. How about that? On behalf of the 122 business members of the Great River Economic Development Foundation, I'd like to once again welcome Governor Pritzker and Lieutenant Governor Stratton to Quincy. The history of John Wood Community College and the Great River Economic Development Foundation go hand in hand, with each entity being founded only a couple of years apart. For over 4 decades, our organizations have worked in tandem to prepare our workforce for the jobs of today and careers of the future. We've done this together by engaging our business community on their current and future workforce needs, by preparing our children to gain a skill set that is in demand, and with an ever-present partnership that aligns our missions together. John Wood Community College provides the Quincy area with welders, truck drivers, nurses, and first responders. Their faculty empowers our educators, technicians, and mechanics. Nearly every business in the Quincy area has an employee who has walked through the doors of John Wood Community College. To the Governor and to the General Assembly, we thank you for the historic investment in our community college system. Those funds will be directly invested into workforce development programs throughout the state of Illinois. The increase in MAP funding will allow for many students to attend college tuition-free. Increasing funding for workforce development and lowering the cost for students to obtain training will increase opportunities for businesses and residents alike. Thank you, Governor, for visiting our community, and it is now my pleasure to introduce to you our Mayor, Mayor Mike Trope.
Good afternoon. Again, this is a great event for John Wood Community College, and it's one of those reasons why Quincy is still referred to as the Gem City. When you have higher education like John Wood Community College, not only helping with the associate degree programs, that's a springboard to go on to other formal education. They have doctors, lawyers, scientists going on to other universities and graduate programs after their 2 years at John Wood. On top of that, all the trade and technical skills that are taught here in those 2 years or other certificate programs is a huge benefit to not only Quincy, but West Central Illinois and this entire region. So we continue to applaud the people at John Wood Community College for all their efforts, all their programs, the continued investments that are being made on an annual basis here. Thank you very much. I ended up with the short straw, so it's my pleasure on behalf of the citizens of Quincy, the City Council here at City Hall, which if you want to stay a little bit longer, Governor, we've got a council meeting this evening, and generally they're exciting. We're going to bring the Governor back up to, this is my favorite part, he's going to take questions from media. I don't get to say that too much to the people that follow me, so what a thrill. Governor, thank you.
You can take it. You can take all the questions, Mr. Ray, if you like. Happy to take any questions from members of the media. Going once. Thank you, everyone. Oh, right here.
Now, you talked about the infrastructure building with this new budget. Does that include deferred maintenance at all in the budget?
Indeed. So there are two pieces of Rebuild Illinois. You may recall that we passed this in 2019. We're engaged in rebuilding, really modernizing everything across the state, our roads, our bridges, but not just, and transit and so on, but not just horizontal infrastructure, but vertical infrastructure. So that includes buildings on campuses and other needs of our universities, as well as downtowns and so on. So the vertical infrastructure that we've put toward our colleges and universities, as I mentioned, about $500 million just for community colleges alone. And we'll be investing, the communities themselves come up with the plans, the colleges themselves come up with the plans and present them, and then they go through a process at the state, but we're the ones writing the check to support the efforts of local communities. So if there are needs in Quincy, and I know I've talked to the mayor and his predecessor too about needs here, as you know, we're also investing in the new Quincy Veterans Home that's being built. Although it takes a few years for you to go through design, engineering, and then to actually plant things in the ground and for it to sprout up, to me it's exciting to look everywhere you go. You can blame me, I'll say sorry, not sorry, when you're driving on the highway and it's a little bit slower than usual because there are some orange cones there. But trust me, over the next 20 years, we're all going to benefit from the investments that we're making in that, in the veterans homes, and in deferred maintenance in all of our state facilities and our universities and colleges. Yes, sir.
While I'm personally happy that Sam's going to the University of Missouri, what are you doing in order to keep more of the kids in-state, to continue going to the in-state schools? Is this money also sort of an incentive for that as well?
It is. So unfortunately for Sam, he can't get a MAP grant to go to the University of Missouri. I don't know, the other scholarship programs that other states give, I can't speak for. But one thing I can tell you is, before I became governor, one of our biggest challenges was that tuition in Illinois was, relative to other universities, high, and our support for students wanting to go to university to pay that tuition was relatively low. And so important for us to keep the brightest talent we've got in our state, and that's why from day one we started investing in MAP grants and in our universities and community colleges. So when I came in, we had about $400 million dedicated to college scholarships, MAP grants. Today it's at $750 million. And that's made a big difference. And while you just heard that thanks to President Renfro and the trustees, that tuition here is not going up. So think about the significant increase in MAP grants that are being given out, and AIM High is another program, and the fact that tuition is being held constant. It means that more people will be able to afford to go to college in Illinois. So we've done a lot. We've seen increases in enrollment. In fact, we have a much, much higher freshman enrollment this last fall in 2022, and will again in 2023, though we have to wait to see the numbers. But the freshman enrollment in 2022 in Illinois was significantly higher than the national average. We were up by 5.5%, as I recall, here in Illinois, and it was minus 2% in the rest of the country.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Speaking on budget issues, recently lawmakers gave themselves a cost of living increase and a 17% increase on top of that. Can you speak about what you think about that?
Well, the General Assembly obviously makes decisions for itself, but it is written into law when you talk about the 17%. For years, and particularly under my predecessor, members of the General Assembly weren't getting paid at all because no budget for a couple of years, right? Then their pay had been frozen. And so you can imagine, I think pay was frozen for almost 10 years in Illinois for General Assembly members. I'm sure that Senator Tracy will correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something like that, right? So you can imagine, it seems like an enormous bump to have 1 year where you're going up 17%, as happened, I think, last year. But it was in part because literally pay had been frozen. And that's, by the way, while we were raising the minimum wage in Illinois so people could earn more, and it had been at $8.25, now at about $14. and going to 15. So I think, my own view is the General Assembly has to make decisions about this themselves. I look at the entire budget. There are things in the budget that I don't love, and things in the budget that I proposed and think are the right thing to do, like funding our universities and community colleges. You look at it as a totality and make a decision, at least as governor, about whether to sign it, and I intend to sign this one. Shortly. I don't think we have the date actually announced yet, but obviously July 1 is when the new fiscal year starts, and our intention is to get it signed relatively shortly so that everybody can plan for the beginning of the new fiscal year.
Muddy River News. Our home, our news.